That's the wife. The wife. Driving down the road. Right, sorry about that. The last one messed up. So it is a Sunday. It's 5:28. I've had an interesting day today. Just been to Little Kickers, which is like a football thing. For Tino. Obviously Tino's 4. He goes to football every Friday. And once a year they have a football fete. And we've just been there. They enjoyed it. I'll be honest with you, I found it a bit boring. But they loved it. So I've had a bit of an interesting day. I've had some great messages. So just if anyone's new to this channel, we are called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. And for short, let's just call it Defending Elvis Presley. And we have Team Elvis that join us on these live streams. This is a phone live stream, so it's aimed at people on their phones. But you can also watch it on your PC or TV if you want. Now the title says it all. Defending Elvis Presley. Team Elvis. We are a group that have slowly evolved. We've grown to become a small family. We're members and subscribers. And the whole point of our channel is that we defend Elvis Presley when we think there's been wrongdoing. When we think Elvis has been treated unfairly. And we go right back to the 50s. A massive topic, of course, is Priscilla Presley. Because in our opinion, there's many things. Hi, Nadia. I've been out all day. Nadia, I've been out all day with my kids. They've been at a football fete. It's very, very hot today. I'm actually a bit tired, but I've had an interesting day today, Nadia. I've been sent quite a lot of information. I've got a few new sources now, people that are messaging me. Very, very interesting sources. So we've got Stacey as well. Hi, Stacey. And I'm getting some very juicy stuff sent to me now. Now, I need to study the things that have been sent to me. I need to study these things. And then I'll give you a name that is being used by the person that sends me these things. Because obviously I really appreciate that these things are being sent to me. Right, let me just sort the dogs out, as usual. Over here, come on. All right, come on then. Right, so they're all right. So one of the, just sort of, to try and cut a long story short, did any of you know that Priscilla Presley has been engaged before? And to a businessman. I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not going to give you details. But she was engaged to this man, I think, just before Graceland was launched as a living museum, when they were in negotiations with Memphis Council to open. There was discussions, Vernon and Memphis, the council. I call it the council, you'll probably call it something else. But in the UK, we call it the council. And they were in very serious discussions. And they had very detailed plans on launching a living museum with Vernon. Very detailed plans. So when Priscilla takes all the credit for coming up with the idea of the museum, the living museum, it's not, in my opinion, I think it's incorrect. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is this, it's a hot potato, this subject, because let's just let the van go. It's a hot potato, this subject, because you have very, how can I say it? Very, what's the word? You have Priscilla fans, and I've got nothing against Priscilla fans, they're entitled. People that have grown up through the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, and they're die-hard Priscilla fans. And no matter what you say, they are convinced that Priscilla is a victim. They are convinced that it's Priscilla's fault that Elvis and Priscilla's marriage broke up. Doesn't matter what you say. You can give them all the facts in the world. Doesn't matter what you say, and they will say, nope, it was because Elvis was unfaithful and because he had a drug problem. Till they're blue in the face, they will not listen to any evidence you have. You can tell them about the unfaithfulness with Steve Peck. And I'm pretty sure Steve Peck was the son of Gregory Peck. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. And then if you tell them about the affair with Mike Stone, and it happened whilst they were married, and that from that affair, Priscilla demanded a divorce. Now you can speak to a Priscilla fan, no offense to Priscilla fans, till they're blue in the face, and they will say, nope, Elvis was constantly unfaithful and was on drugs and left her alone at Graceland. They'll just keep repeating it. So it doesn't matter. You're not going to change people's mind if they have made up their mind that that is their truth. If they have been brainwashed by the fairy tale that there was this beautiful romance, and that Elvis met her at 14, and their romance began when she was 14, which is completely incorrect, by the way. They were only friends, close friends, for between 2 and 5 months in Germany in 1959, and then Elvis went back to Graceland, to his life as a movie star, as a record, making records for RCA Victor, and he did the Frank Sinatra show in 1960. But no, if you speak to people that don't really know their facts, have not done their research, if you speak to fans, I'm on about like Priscilla fans, people that have been brainwashed by the book Elvis and Me, which I think was completely unfair to Elvis. Elvis had no say in the book Elvis and Me, nothing. He was dead. He'd been dead 7 years. He had no say in it. The only person that had say in the Elvis book was Priscilla Presley, and that book was written from the point of view of Priscilla, the victim. Priscilla, the person that is trying to get people to feel sorry for her and believe every word that she says, and it's been rewritten. It's a rewriting of history from her point of view. Now, I'm not saying this in a hateful way. I'm just listing facts. Now, I, with help from our sources that give us information, have got evidence, and I need to read it properly and properly absorb it and understand it, that shows that Vernon and Memphis City had already planned the Living Museum. The idea was, and a very detailed description of how they were going to create the Living Museum was already at hand. It was all rocking and rolling. And then through a series of circumstances, which I can't go through them properly now because I need to do my research properly so I don't sound silly, But obviously the obvious one is Vernon dies, Minnie May dies. So then suddenly there's a group of executives and there's a bank. I can't remember the name of the bank. There's a certain bank that they do business with. And there were some massive decisions to be made. Priscilla has a lien, a charge on Graceland, which was created because she was giving a deed of trust. Because on the second divorce settlement, she was demanding money that Elvis couldn't afford. A massive amount of money. So you have to try and understand things. There was a lot of circumstances happening behind the scenes, business type things. And then you've got Jack Sodden, the man that Priscilla was engaged to, who I won't mention now because we're going to do it later. Now I repeat, how many of you knew that Priscilla was engaged? And it was around, I don't want to mix my years up, but it was around 1980, 81, I think, that she was engaged. And this person was in a shock aeroplane accident and unfortunately died. So we're going to talk about this person in detail, not now, maybe later, probably not later, probably tomorrow. And when I read these details, all right. So when I go through these details, you're gonna understand that she was serious about this guy. They were getting married. But anyway, the point of this quick live stream we're talking about is that no, Priscilla was not the person that came up with the idea of creating a living museum. It was Vernon and Memphis Council. And it was a very detailed idea. And no, it wasn't because of Priscilla that Graceland was not sold off. This is not true. There were many circumstances, things that were happening behind the scenes, business things to do with the bank, important decisions. But I will say this, in my opinion, Priscilla having a lien on Graceland, so more or less being part owner of it because of the horrible divorce settlement that she forced Elvis into, which should never have happened because she broke the original divorce. She went against the terms of the first divorce. She accused Elvis of some pretty nasty things, and the judge allowed her to go for a second divorce settlement, which was much, much bigger. I don't exactly know which attorney, whose idea it was to go for the second divorce settlement, but ultimately it was Priscilla's. It was her actions using her attorneys that went for the jugular with Elvis. And this was a very cruel, cunning second divorce settlement that demanded everything. This is just my opinion, guys. I'm allowed an opinion. And this, I think, cruel treatment of our beloved Elvis Presley, I think, had a massive effect on Elvis's health. Now, don't forget, also on Elvis's daughter, Lisa Marie, because ultimately, everything that happened in the long run, in long term, would affect Lisa Marie, because Priscilla ultimately ended up being the trustee of Graceland, which in my opinion led to Elvis Presley Enterprises being sold off, 85% of it. That also had a massive knock-on effect to Lisa Marie Presley. I know that Lisa Marie Presley is also in theory, was involved in these transactions with Bill Silliman and Joe Weishanker, you know. And we're going to have to go into detail and try and dig deep and try and find out more information, what really went on with all these things, because I know you guys are very interested. So the point of this live stream is that I've got some information, and once I do my proper homework, proper research, and really properly understand it, I'm going to prove to you guys that Priscilla did not save Graceland. Priscilla did not come up with the idea of creating a living museum. It was done before her time. And she just jumped on the bandwagon and then took full credit for it. Full credit. And this is my opinion. None of you have to agree with me. This is my opinion. And I'm sure if I was speaking right now to Priscilla, she would disagree with me and say it was all her idea. Now, when she's on the steps of Graceland, doing her press release, her public statement, launching Graceland as a living museum, she does very briefly mention the Memphis City Council. She does mention it. But we have got a very proud woman here. We've got Priscilla Presley, a very proud woman. Let's just keep going, guys. So, now you look at those videos, guys. You look at Priscilla Presley, and you've got all of the press in front of her. She's beaming. She does look beautiful. She's got a big smile on her face. Very confident. Very, very confident. I would say even overconfident. Nothing like the sweet, shy, innocent girl that we were told about in Germany. The sweet, shy girl that we were told about that moved to Graceland when she was 17, nearly 18. That Priscilla didn't exist anymore. We had a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, a multi-millionaire, the owner, the trustee, on behalf of Lisa Marie, of an empire, guys, that took how many years to build up? How much hard work did Elvis do? Decades and decades. Because Elvis was a real workaholic. He worked his arse off to create his wealth. Properties, cars, music contracts, publishing rights, movies. And who is there sat at the top of the power? The power, who was it? It was Priscilla Presley. Everything had culminated to that day where she was boasting to the world, on TV around the world, every country in the world, Priscilla was in charge. The Queen of Graceland, as much as that annoys everyone. The Queen, the President of Graceland, the Emperor of Graceland. This is how she felt. That all her small little actions had culminated to this day of glory. This day of glory, a bit like Nuremberg. Everything came together. Almighty power. Could you imagine being in her shoes, how she felt all those years with Elvis? Elvis was the dominant person. Elvis was the king. He steered his destiny with his beautiful voice and amazing good looks and fantastic personality. The best music in the world. The whole world was in love with Elvis. And little Priscilla Presley was always second, was always number two. And I think, in my opinion, This is just my opinion, guys. She didn't like it. And inside herself was brewing. Now, shall I use the word revenge? I don't know if revenge is the right word. But there was a plan, in my opinion. Now, this plan unfolded very gradually. Very gradually. First of all, it was the affair with Mike Stone. Because I do think that the affair with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, just after Lisa Marie was born, was almost a mistake that just she got found out. I do think that. I think there were many circumstances why she was unfaithful with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, the guy who owned the dance studio, Gregory Peck's son, 39-year-old man. I'll never understand why Priscilla was unfaithful in the way that she was just after Lisa Marie was born, just weeks after. But I do think, now if you listen to Mike Stone's interview, and he talks about how Priscilla pursued him, chatted him up, sought him out, and once she did start having an affair secretly with him for a year behind Elvis's back, she made it very, very clear that she was going to divorce Elvis. She had a plan. And she got her divorce. And this completely rocked Elvis's world to the core. Then she got her first divorce settlement. Her first divorce settlement. A massive amount of money, even though she had first said that she didn't want any money. Now things just carried on. Elvis was still seeing Lisa Marie quite regularly. Elvis got on with his life. You know, he's seeing Linda Thompson. Things just moseyed along. And then someone put this idea in Priscilla's head to go back for a second divorce settlement. My guess is that it could have been Richard Kardashian, but I don't know this. Many disagree with me, but I just have a small feeling that it could have been. And she did date Richard Kardashian, but I could be wrong on that, guys. It's just my opinion. But anyway, whoever put the idea in Priscilla's head to have a second divorce settlement, which I think was shocking because she completely went against what she agreed in the first divorce settlement. Don't forget, she had also agreed to not use the name Presley, which we know she took back after Elvis died. I'd like to know the exact date that she took back the Presley name. I'm really interested to know that because I've never found any actual proof of the date that she took back the Presley name. And we all know that we feel, in our opinion, that the reason she took the Presley name back is just to make more money, for career opportunities, open doors. This is another opinion that I have. I have many opinions. I can't prove anything, guys. There's something, actually that's not true. There's some things I can prove. Now, do you think that Priscilla knew after the divorce settlement, the second divorce settlement, just even for a second, that this would lead to almighty power, the Emperor of Graceland, Priscilla Presley? I don't think so at first. I think once she realised that Elvis could not afford to pay her the massive demands she had, including record rights, royalties of his music, as well as massive spousal payments, and Elvis couldn't afford it, and then the attorneys came up with the idea of creating a deed of trust, and then that enabled them to do the lien on the Graceland, the building, Elvis's home. I think she could smell it. I think at that point, when she realised, oh, Elvis can't afford it, he's going to have to make me put a lien on the Graceland building. That, in a weird way, makes me part owner of Graceland. That was the foot in the door. That was the foot in the door. Little did she know that that foot in the door, she would soon be wearing Elvis's crown, King of Graceland, that she did not deserve, in my opinion. Now, circumstances evolved. We know that Vernon passed away, Minnie May passes away, Lisa Marie is too young. So she has massive leverage, and her leverage to be given all control was Lisa Marie, who we all adore, beautiful Lisa Marie, and the deed, the lien, the deed of trust, the lien, the charge on Graceland's, the building. Everything just fell into place. Then she picks up on this, the information that the council and Vernon had been discussing in detail, the opening of Graceland as a living museum, and also in front of Graceland, they wanted to develop it as well. And it was Vernon's idea and Memphis Council's idea, Memphis City. Oh, I saved Graceland. Oh, it was my idea to open Graceland as a living museum. Now, they knew it was going to be a massive success because of the amount of people that were visiting the graves. The graves were being visited by thousands and thousands of people, and they only charged $5, and they knew it was going to be a massive success. I wouldn't even say it was a gamble, but Priscilla will tell you it was a massive gamble. As far as Priscilla Presley's concerned, she saved the day. She saved Graceland. She saved Elvis's legacy. This is her words. I don't believe any of it, guys. In my opinion, I don't believe any of it. In many interviews, even sat with Lisa Marie, she also says, your dad would have been forgotten. If we had not prevented the sale of Graceland, she's looking at Lisa Marie in the eyes. If we had not prevented the sale of Graceland and launched it as a living museum, your dad would have been forgotten by the world, forgotten by the public. How wrong she was. How wrong she was. Anybody that thinks that Graceland being opened as a museum and not being sold would have made the world forget about Elvis are delusional. Elvis was never going to be forgotten because Elvis touched millions of people's hearts. He had a special connection with people, a very special connection, that once you were touched by that connection, you were never the same again. And Elvis touched millions and millions of people that just could not forget him. And it passed down all the generations. And I say it to you now, Elvis fans, you have all been touched by this magic that Elvis had. This 1 in a billion magic, 1 in 2 billion magic, and you were changed. Once you were touched by the Elvis magic, you were changed. Elvis was never going to be forgotten. So anyone that tells me that Graceland is the reason that Elvis is forgotten, you are wrong. Graceland had nothing to do with it. So when I see Lisa Marie sat with Priscilla, and Priscilla's looking at her in the eyes and saying, I saved your father's legacy. Because I saved Graceland, because I opened it as a museum, even though she didn't, she just took the credit for it. She's lying to her own daughter. Her father was never going to be forgotten. Never. Because the amount of good he did has never been, no one else has ever done it. I put it to you to tell me one person that through their life, bearing in mind Elvis's career was quite short. By 77, it was all over. I challenge you to think of one person that has done the good that Elvis did in his life, in his very short life, and touched so many millions of people so deeply in their hearts that he still remembered nearly 50 years later. Now, Priscilla now, she's old news. She's not even welcome at Graceland's. Her daughter, unfortunately, has passed, and we all miss Lisa Marie because she was so special. She was one of a kind. Right from a child to to a middle-aged woman. She was special, so special. So guys, this is just part one, because I'm going to come back with some information to prove that Priscilla did not save Graceland. Priscilla did not, it was not her idea to open it as a living museum. And I think some very devious, cunning business deals happened that most of you would be shocked by if you knew the details. That's it, guys. That's my little speech for the day whilst I'm walking the dogs. I'll try and read some of your comments. Far away, guys, because I was talking a lot then, wasn't I? Who have we got here? I wasn't able to see your comments because the sun's in my eyes. Right, I'm going to try and go through some of your comments. I'm going to just put the dogs down. I've still got the sun in my eyes, though. She does look like her father, Maria. Hi, Maria. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Jean. How are you going, Jean? Let me know who's on. Team Elvis, let me know who's on, because I couldn't see before. Team Elvis, how many of you are there? Thanks, Team Elvis, for helping me on this phone live stream. Really appreciate it. Carolyn, how are you going, Carolyn? Is Deborah on? Hi, Jean. Hi, Stacey. Carolyn, talk to Deborah. She's started doing our diet. Deborah's on it. She's a member of the keto gang. She was asking me about it, and I was saying that you've had some success with it, Carolyn. Hi, Marty. How you going? Still got the sun in my eyes. Oh, Nadia is here. Hi, Nadia. I've been out all day, Nadia, so I haven't been able to answer any messages. Not in the normal way that I do. Yeah, I'm not sure if Deborah's on, but she's loving life at the moment. She's very excited about the possibilities of the keto diet. So I don't want to talk about the diet because I get told off. Woo! So lovely today, isn't it? Beautiful. I want to try and get somewhere in the shade so I can read, so I can scroll back and read through the comments. The dogs have had their walk. Just want to say thank you to Elvis's family. Yes, we have a love. Oh, Deborah is here. Hi, Deborah. I was just saying, Deborah, Kathy can help you out because she's been doing it. Right, let's get the dogs inside, then I'll sit down for a bit until my wife's gone to get some kebab. Do you know what a kebab is, guys? Right, in you go. In you go. Do any of you know what a kebab is? That's what we're having for dinner tonight. Hang on, I'll come in 1 minute. All right, 1 second. Let me stand you up. I've got to sort my kid out. All right, Tino, I'm going to come and sort you out. Right, 1 second. Let me just put this down somewhere. Right, 1 sec. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to sort Tino out. Okay. Just turn it down so I'm alive. Yeah, turn it down, please. All right, sorry about that, guys. Right, I just wanted to go through your comments. I'm gonna just sit outside in the front of the house. Yeah, we have got a brilliant family here, haven't we, guys? Right, I'm just going to sit down outside my house and I'm going to go through some of your comments because I wasn't able to see them. Yes, lamb is lovely. lamb is brilliant. It's one of the best meats you can have, full of nutrients. Finola, how we going? Yes, as long as it's meat, mate. We love our meat. Right, let me just go through. I just want to just go back through your comments. Right, so we've got CKC. I've been researching Morgan Maxfield. Yep, this is the person I'm talking about. He was a very rich businessman, Priscilla's fiance, and found a very interesting website called Tap Talk. Elvis and Priscilla life going on part 2. I'll look that up. I'm gonna CKC design. I'll look that up because he is the topic of the live stream that I intend to do once I've got all the information. So thanks for that, my friend. Stacy, he definitely was sent by God. Nadia, he massively still breaks records. Mike, let's have a look. Hi, Mike. You're so right. I've been an Elvis fan since I was 12. I am now 67 and still an Elvis fan, and been to Graceland 4 times since 1977. Nice to meet you, Mike. Are you a new person on our channel? Let's say hello to Mike. Mike, how are you, my friend? What country are you in? My name's Louis. I'm a lifelong Elvis fan, like as Team Elvis is. Most of Team Elvis have been fans with Elvis over 50, 60, maybe even 70 years, and we all love him. Right, let's keep looking. Maria, I hope you're well. Chloe, I hope, yep, we have, Elvis touched all of us, didn't he, in a special magic way, and we still feel it. We still feel it, we all feel it here. Right. He was the one and only. Well, I do like the Beatles, but not as much as Elvis. All the women in the world wanted him. He was a young, good-looking man. Remember, it was before the Beatles, before Elvis, there was no superstar. Do you know what? I think Elvis overtook the Beatles. I know that there was a period where the Beatles were at the top, but after the 68 comeback special, Elvis took over the Beatles. I love the Beatles, but we can't put it just down to him being young and good-looking, Nadia. There's been millions and millions of young, good-looking, famous people, but none of them reached the heights that Elvis did. How many of those people are remembered now in the same way by so many fans 50 years after they died, more or less 50 years? There's no way Elvis was going to be forgotten. That's why those interviews with Priscilla really bother me. When she says, oh, you know, if we had sold, if Graceland had been sold, he would have been forgotten. And she says it more than once. And Lisa Marie, being very naive then, because she was quite young, she just sort of goes along with it. I feel sorry for her. But she was a very young girl. Yeah, but you know what? The beautiful women did want him, Carolyn, but he was different. He was special. Come on. Priscilla definitely was cheating as well. I'm just going back through the comments. Yeah, we do. If I can see that you've deleted someone. We only delete you if you deserve it, guys. We don't want to delete you. We give you plenty of opportunity to get respectful. Then we delete you. Carolyn, he really did give us joy. We do. And we're giving back, aren't we? We are giving back by defending him. That's why we're called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. And we are proud to defend him because we love him. He deserves it. He deserves it. And no one else is defending him. If the fans don't defend him, who's going to defend him? It's us through the comments. That's all we can do. And with all the special, amazing Elvis YouTube channels, like Presley Mania, like Tender Loving Elvis. These are the kind of channels that are defending Elvis properly. Digging deep, doing their research, trying to get their facts so we can stick up for the person we admire. I think Kardashian may have had something to do with it, Deborah, but some people have told me I'm wrong, so we have Agent 38, right, hi. People who met Elvis said he was even better looking in person and a big charisma. I've heard that many times. JD, Lisa Marie also made music and records. They are hard to come and pretty expensive. She was a very talented girl and very beautiful, I think. King of Kindness, I like that, Nadia. 200 Cadillacs. And they're all worth a fortune now. Hi, Stephen. Watch some documentaries on Elvis and you'll understand Elvis and the black community. Yeah, come on, anyone that thinks Elvis is racist is cuckoo. Cuckoo. Come on, Elvis was massively influenced by the black community and he loved them. He adored them. I'm just going through this. So that is because her face was used to promote Graceland. She is... Yeah, it was. She was a beautiful girl, and it worked because people had fallen for the fairy tale. People felt sorry for Priscilla. They thought that the reason the wedding, the marriage ended was because Elvis had been unfaithful and that he had a drug problem. Everyone fell for it, didn't they? Even we fell for it. Come on, guys. How many of us have changed our mind? All right. Hello. How many of us have changed our mind about Priscilla? How many of us, once upon a time, thought Priscilla was okay and didn't see the wrong that she had done? How many? Will any of you admit that? Because I have. I've changed my mind. I had my mind changed by the Elvis fans. It's the truth, guys. So we've got Nicola Diagola. Hi, Nicola. Just trying to see. Substance use disorder. I heard that the museum was Vernon's idea right before Vernon died. And Jean from Hollywood. This is Jean. Yeah, you're right, Jean. I'm pretty sure you're right. It was Vernon and the Memphis Council were discussing it. And they were quite far down the road on planning it as well. This is what I've been told from sources that know what they're talking about. Yeah, the whole elder abuse thing is ridiculous. Come on, guys. She's fit and healthy. You know it. She's running around the world. Come on. You look at her Instagram channel. That is not an elderly woman that is unwell, that can't function. We're not stupid. Yeah, I noticed Shauna had said that, but I also have read it a few times as well. And Shauna gave us a mention last night. Or was it last night or the night before? And she mentioned our channel. She mentioned Bridget Cruz doing an interview with me, Rhonda and Shauna, which I'd love to do, by the way. So, yeah, come on. Us Elvis channels, we got to stick together. She couldn't have picked better people. Right, let's just get to the most recent comments. I'm whizzing back up now just to get to the... So Carolyn says, Elvis had a special bond with people with disabilities. He loved Gary Pepper. He definitely did have a special bond. He would go out of his way to help people. Really go out of his way. There's many stories of Elvis just for no reason, just picking people out and helping them. Let's have a look. So when he ran for governor of Texas, they accused Kinky Friedman of being a racist. When in his songs he mocked racists, he quietly carried the same message that Elvis carried, charity and kindness. Yeah. I always thought Elvis had a diabetic problem, inherited condition. I think you're right, Finola. I think you're right. Jane, you fell for the fairy tale. Many of us did. And the Priscilla fans still have. In my opinion, they're brainwashed. You only have to do a little bit of research and you start to understand the truth from our point of view. Stacy is another one. You know, we were all hoodwinked, guys. We were hoodwinked. Yep.
Why is my salt?
I'm tired of all the insinuations. Yes, we know Vernon started it, but give us a break. Again, all due respect to your followers. Enough with Priscilla. The whole point of this channel, my friend, is that we are defending Elvis Presley. We are Elvis defenders. Team Elvis here is doing their best to get the truth out there. We just want the truth. That's all it boils down to. Right, I've got to go, guys. My wife's here. Take it easy, guys. Thank you very much. It's time to eat. I'm going to come back later and do a live stream. Thanks, guys. Thanks, all of you. Take care, guys. All the best. Have a great day. I'll see you later. I'm definitely going to be back on in the morning as well. I am going to try and do one more live stream tonight. Thanks, guys. All the best.